14-0 Chapmanville leading here at the half over Nicholas County. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you, J.J. Pruitt, our engineer. And right now on your screen, you see a QR code that is on your screen. That can also take you to YouTube to watch live with us here on the D&D Sports Network. So you've got more than one way to enjoy high school football action going on. We have 5 games going on right now on the D&D Sports Network. Again, we found out Logan is in a lightning delay right now. Yeah, Mingo and some of the areas down there. I said yes. Yeah, Tug Valley, they got hit pretty rough down that way. We look like we might be okay towards the end. It could get a little rainy, maybe a little bit of weather coming in later, like JJ knocking on wood. I totally agree. So we're going to hope and pray that we'll be all right as well as this halftime show brought to you by Laser Dude here at the half on the D&D Sports Network. And yeah, we got a photo from one of our colleagues on D&D Sports Network showing us the press box picture from Logan, and yep, it definitely looks like they got hit pretty rough at the moment. So we're hoping that Dwayne and I and JJ may fare a little bit better as we go on throughout this evening. But in the first half, Dwayne, excellent job by Chapmanville. We talked about them staying patient. Even though they turned the ball over on downs a couple of times, they withstood that storm. They relied on the defense, and I think that's where they're able to fall back a little bit because they're like, look, we can maybe take chances when we need to, but our defense is going to be there to protect us if need be at this point and get the ball back for us. But I thought Chapmanville did a good job offensively of waiting for those opportunities, and they were able to strike whenever they did.
You're right, Chris, and what a luxury to have to know you can rely on your defense. They started off the season with a shutout last week. They're off to a great start this week as well. And, I imagine it's very, very tough to be patient with all the weapons you have. We've seen the explosive plays of Trey Ward. We know they have other options as well. So big props there to Coach Barker and Coach Belcher for being patient because they know they can be. So they executed very well. They wanted to cut down on turnovers. They wanted to cut down on penalties. They've done that so far with a few hiccups on downs, but no careless plays yet. And I'm sure that's the focus for the second half as well.
Again, that QR code on your screen, that'll help take you to YouTube to join our broadcast as well. Again, watch on Facebook, watch with us on YouTube as well. But now, going into the second half, Chapmanville gets the ball to start things out. You had touchdown, long touchdown, 48 yards from Dalton to Ward. Then you get Ward on that little crossing pattern, able to outrun everyone to the pylon for the score with under 30 seconds left. Now you come out here in this second half with the ball. This is either this could be a big moment. Chapmanville goes down and scores. Obviously, now you're looking at a very difficult climb for Nicholas County. Chapmanville, though, if you're them, you don't want to turn the ball over here. You don't want to give Nicholas County a short field. You want to make them have to drive the field if all possible. So it's kind of a catch-22 right now. It's like I want to go down and get the points, but I also don't want to make the mistake. And Nicholas County, they've just got to come out and find a way to get a turnover, find a way to sustain a drive because they've just not been able to finish anything so far.
Yeah, Nicholas County desperately needs a stop on this drive for Chapmanville. Chapmanville's going to come out of this half, like you said. Their decisions can be all over the place, and like I just said, it's very tough to be patient, but I think we will see them continue to establish the run, possibly a few little wide receiver screens to pull that defense up because all they need is a step of daylight to get out to Ward. I think we might see more Collins in the second half because he's a change of pace back. We saw that in the second half last week, so what of embarrassment of riches to have. That's a good problem to have, whether or not I'm going to keep attacking you.
Absolutely.
And if they do score here to go up 3 scores, it's not really too late in the game to kind of go one-dimensional, but Nicholas County has to be thinking, can we stop this Tigers offense? So 3 scores almost seems like 4 scores when you're going up against offense like the Tigers have.
Now let's take a look at some of the scores from around the state of West Virginia here on this Friday, week 2. Again, the games that are still going on at the moment. Again, AA Philip Barber up on Buchanan Upshur, 21-10 right now. AAA Capital up on 4A Cabell Midland, 14-7 in the second quarter. GW 14-0 over Hurricane. That still in the first half. Huntington leading Martinsburg 16-7. That the Class 4A game of the week for Metro News. Morgantown leading Jefferson 17-0 at halftime. Musselman trailing 14-13 to Loudoun Valley, Virginia at the half. Riverside, no kill, not gotten started yet. Spring Valley and Parkersburg, same. Spring Mills and Willing Park. Spring Mills leading at 21-14 at halftime. University leading Parkersburg South 9-7. Washington 21-0 over Hedgesville at the half. Woodrow Wilson leading Greenbrier East 7-6 in the second quarter. So we look at some more scores going over to the AAA side. Bridgeport leading Heritage Virginia 27-14. Brooke and Lindsley Cadets, no score from there as of yet. Elkins 24-0 over Moorfield at halftime. Fairmont Senior 14, Robert C. Byrd 2 at the half. Grafton 14-10 over East Fairmont, that game at halftime. Kaiser leading at 21-0 over Lewis County, that in the first quarter. North Marion up 7-0 on 4A Preston, that in the first half still. Gallia County, Ohio leading Point Pleasant 21-7 in the second quarter. Princeton leading 20-6 over Bluefield. Big game there for both sides. Ripley up 14-0 on Ravenswood in the first half. Shady Spring, James Monroe, no score from there yet. St. Albans and Nitro, no score update from there either. Herbert Hoover leading at 21-0 over Winfield at the half. Again, that was a game a lot of people had their eyes on coming in here this evening. As you look at AA, Berkeley Springs 25-8 over Hancock, Maryland at the half. Braxton 20-0 over Gilmer County in the second quarter. Buffalo and Clay County, no score update from there yet. Doddridge County all over Ritchie County 48-0. Frankfort 35-0 over Hampshire at the half. Independence leading Martins Ferry, Ohio 21-6 at the half. Pikeview 16-12 over Liberty Raleigh in the second quarter. Logan leading at 13-0 over Riverview. Again, that game in a lightning delay. Midland Trail 14, Polka nothing in the second quarter. Mingo Central leading West Side. That a big game down in the Coalfields, 12-6 in the first half. Oak Glen 26-12 leading it at the half over St. Mary's. Petersburg 20-0 over Wyoming East. Scott leading Wayne 3-0. A little bit of a surprise there in the second quarter. Sissonville, a final, beating Tulsa 20-19. South Harrison leading Lincoln 14-7 at halftime. Greenbrier West 26-6 over Summers County in the second quarter. John Marshall 21, Weir 6 at the half. And then over in Single A, Clay Battelle. Sorry, we're all trying not to hurt each other up here in the press box right now. We're all trying to help each other out.
Well, we have a second there, Chris. We want to thank everybody for watching along on our Facebook page, and as you said, YouTube on our Facebook, D&D Mountain Elite. We've already had shout-outs from Huntington, and I know that's probably from the Westmoreland area, so hi to those people there, and also from Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. We appreciate all of our listeners and watchers out there with us here on this Friday night. As Clay Battelle leading 26-12 in the second quarter over Frontier, Ohio. Fort Fry, Ohio leading Willing Central 20-0 at the half. Man and Mount View not gotten going yet with the lightning down in that area. Pendleton, East Hardy 29-14. Pendleton in the second quarter. That's the Class A game of the week. Meadowbridge and Pocahontas tied at 6 in the second quarter. Calhoun County leading Richwood 12-0 in the first. Tucker County leading Tigers Valley 26-0 at the half. Tug Valley and Sherman again down in that lightning delay area. Haven't gotten started yet. Montcalm and Twin Valley, Virginia, 43-6. Montcalm wins that contest. Wahama leading 16-6 over Tyler Consolidated at the half. And Work County up 6-0 on Magnolia in the first quarter. So again, we are closing in on the end of halftime, and we will step aside and be back for the kickoff for the start of the third quarter after this, as you are watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network. Start of quarter number 3 here at Nicholas County High School in Nicholas County, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you, Dwayne Williams alongside me, and J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, as our you by Laser Dude here on the D&D Sports Network. And Dwayne, wind's starting to pick up a little bit. It's blown the ball off the tee a couple times here, so that weather is kind of whistling in the distance at the moment, and we hope it stays there.
Yes, we do. And typically when you're on the road, you're at a disadvantage. But as far as weather is concerned, we've dodged that bullet. We hope we continue to dodge it until this game is over with.
Now they're going to get a placeholder here for Burkhammer, as Chapmanville will get the ball with a 14-0 lead to start the second half. As Burkhammer, strong squib right down the gut, picked up there at about the 10-yard line. Ward comes up the middle, 25-30, breaks out 35-40, up the sideline. Can he outrun everybody again? Ward finally pushed out of bounds inside the 25-yard line, and you have to ask yourself, Dwayne, why would you ever even give him a chance?
I would high-five my kicker if he kicked it out of bounds when Trey Ward's back
Yes.
there, because all the man does is make plays. Whether it's on defense, we saw it last week with 2 interceptions. Offense, he's already showed you 2 touchdowns today. And in the return game, he's as dangerous as anybody in the state. He's making his presence known. Trey Ward is too dangerous to kick to in any circumstance.
It is. Whenever he gets the ball and you don't see a defender within 5 yards of him, and you're not rooting for Trey Ward's team, you just start to hold your breath.
Absolutely, Chris. You got to be scared every time he touches it.
Well, you got a big return that Chapmanville couldn't turn into points to start. They're in the first half as they'll go to Kovac on first down. And Kovac, he's been bottled up here tonight. They've done a good job keeping him in check, but there's so many other things Chapmanville's been able to go to.
Absolutely. Talk about all the different weapons they have and all the options that Coach Barker has at his disposal. And they might be stopping him now, but you got to wonder, as the later this game goes on, a player with the body type of Preston Kovac can wear on the defense, and he's bound to break another one.
It'll be 2nd and 11. They'll give it to Ward on the sweep far side. Ward spins out of a tackle, then gets brought down inside the 20-yard line. So once again, just getting the ball in his hands, letting something happen, and he's able to pick up about 6 yards on that carry.
Yeah, it's not rocket science, Chris. You just give it to the guy who can make some plays. The first little wrinkle we've seen with that jet sweep action with Kovac on the outside leading across that left, they've been very successful running to the left side of this offensive line. So let's see if they continue to do that or take a shot here on the open side of the field to the right.
On 3rd and 5, Dalton went with a hard count. Thought he got Nicholas County to jump into the neutral zone, but the officials don't give him the call. So now he's got 10 on the play clock. Dalton barks out an order towards the right side of his line. Takes the snap, gives it off to Kovac. Kovac takes it off the left end, pushes through one defender, fights through another, and he's right at the first down marker, and he might have it, Dwayne.
Yeah, it seems like when they need some plays, they need a yard, they need anything, they seem to be running to the left side of the line this season, and there was another example of that. We're very, very close there, and it looks like we got a player down at the moment.
And we've got our first case of perhaps cramps right here. So we'll step aside for a quick break and be back after this as you're watching high school football action here on the D&D Sports Network.
Call Restoration One, West Virginia's go-to cleanup crew. Don't let fire, wind, water damage ruin your property. Restoration One can get you back to 100% in the quickest time possible. Our staff here at Restoration One is fast, friendly, and reliable. We got experts that use the latest in technology to remove mold and damages left behind by Mother Nature. Don't just trust anyone. Trust Restoration One.
Back here in Nicholas County, Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, in this third quarter brought to you in part by LB&T Banking. We appreciate them helping us bring you high school football action here on this week 2. As it'll be 4th and inches. They give it to Kovac, barrels over the line, trying to run over another man inside the 5, and finally is held up as half the Nicholas County defense had to bring him down to prevent a touchdown, but it sets up a 1st and goal.
I love when offensive coordinators don't outsmart themselves. You've got 4th and short. You've got a battling Ram in the backfield. You're going to give it to him. Chances are nobody's going to stop him for a loss. And as we see, he carried half the defense there, almost looking at the end zone.
Now Chapmanville looking to go up by 3 scores on this possession to open the 3rd quarter as we approach 10 minutes to go in it. As everyone bunched up in the middle and going in, a touchdown Chapmanville. As let's see who had it. As that was a quick hitter right up the gut. I never even saw who got the ball. Looks like Dalton just kept it himself, and Dalton goes in on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, way to change things up there by the Tigers. They get up there, do a quick count, right up the gut. Hard to see who got in there. All that matters is they hit pay dirt, and you see them lifting Dalton up in the air. So what a start for the second half, exactly what the Tigers wanted and needed.
Now the Jackson topping, Patrick Swayze Dirty Dancing has become very popular.
Hey, we're going to teach these kids to say the Swayze before the season's over.
21-0. Chapmanville leads it. We'll step aside for a break and be back after this as you're watching high school football action here on the D&D Sports Network.
Smokey Armstrong here from United Motorsports of Belfry. Looking for your next adventure? We've got the motorcycles, side-by-sides, and ATVs needed to take your riding to the next level. Whether you're hitting the track, enjoying the trails, exploring the open road, or seeking comfort and style, we've got you covered with trusted brands like Honda, Polaris, and Kawasaki. At United Motorsports, we're not just about selling power sports, we're passionate about helping you find the perfect ride. Our team will work with you to customize your vehicle, offer expert advice, and provide top-notch service. No matter where your adventure takes you, ready to get started? Call us at 606-237-7311 or visit www.unitedmotorsportsbelfry.com or stop by today. Your next ride is waiting.
10 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter, 21-0. Chapmanville leads Nicholas County. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams here in the press box at Grizzly Stadium. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, as McClanahan set to kick it away, as puts it right down into that dead spot again, and it takes a good hop inside the 5. Now Nicholas County could be in trouble, but a touchback is going to be given, and Nicholas County will start out at their own 20-yard line as this 3rd quarter help being brought to you in part by Aracoma Drug Store in Chapmanville. Again, we appreciate Aracoma Drug Store and everything they did for my tennis program and everything they do to help us here on the D&D Sports Network here tonight.
Absolutely. Aracoma always step up, and they step up and help all teams in the area.
Yeah,
They're exactly what a small-town business needs to be.
Now it's 21-0, and Chapmanville could be looking to land a knockout punch here, as Helms and company desperately need to try and find a sustained drive and some points. As there's a good start to it, as he's able to hit his man in the flat that time. That'll be enough for a 1st down, as that'll cross across the 30 as Malam makes the grab.
Yeah, that's the 2nd time we've seen that call. I like the quick passing here. Get him in rhythm. You negate that Chapmanville pressure. Nice play call. They should do more of that.
Helton's back to the line quickly. Another quick throw to the outside, going to his knees and making the grab. Once again on the outside, this time the grab being made by number 30, Keenan. And that'll be a gain of close to 5.
Basically an extension of the run game, quick pass. They're moving, they're moving, staying within the sticks, 2nd and mid. You got to like those play calls. They've made an adjustment, I think.
So now 2nd down and 5. They give it off up the middle this time. Not a whole lot there, as they tried to catch Chapmanville, maybe sitting on that short pass, but that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2, as they'll give him about 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, that's tough sledding when you go at the middle of this Chapmanville defense. They've shown already in the game and a half that they are tough this year, right up the gut, but they're going to keep pounding away, and they have that big back that can wear down the Tigers, just as we spoke about the Tigers can do to them.
And now we get a whistle and a timeout for Nicholas County with 8:50 to play here in the 3rd quarter. So we'll step aside for a break and be back after this as you're watching high school football action here on the D&D Sports Network.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the Southern coalfields. So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away.
Here at LB&T, we make online banking easy.
We've taken the hassle out of applying for a loan on our new website. It's as simple as going to our lbnt.com website and choosing the loan product that best suits your needs.
Your loan on your time.
8:50 to play here in the third quarter. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. J.J. Pruitt, our engineer, as after the Nicholas County timeout, now 3rd down and 2 at their own 39-yard line as they burn a crucial timeout here early in the second half as they hand it off. Nice little rush off the left side, and that'll be enough for a first down out to the 45-yard line, and that'll move the chains for the Grizzlies.
Sticking with the ground game, punishing off tackle there, bounced off a defender. We've yet to see the first guy take this man down all game, and looks like going with a bit of hurry up here.
Helms, quick throw to the outside, completes it again. So it's third time they've run that route on this drive as Keenan makes his second grab. And like you said, it's just an extension of their running game right now, trying to open things up a little bit more.
Yeah, they only threw that one time in the first half, already 3 on their opening drive, so they definitely saw something they liked.
Once again, they go up tempo. They hand it off up the middle. Not a lot there. And now looking to make a little something out of that. Pushes down to about the 46, so that'll be a gain of about 4. We don't have a number or a name or a number for 17. So I don't know if that's Nash maybe in a different uniform right now or not, if he had some blood on his uniform. But now on 3rd and 1, they try the quicker to the outside again. And, wow, what a catch by Keenan out there. They say he came down with it, Dwayne.
What a catch. Another quick passing play in rhythm. That ball was only where he could catch it, a bit outside. What a catch to keep, No, they called it incomplete.
Oh, I saw the FAR officials say catch like he held it in. Well, now 4th and 1, but they'll pick it up anyway. That'll move the chains again. But, yeah, the official on the far side, I thought he was making the initial signal like, hey, he hauled that in. That was a catch. But it may have been overturned from the far side judge.
I thought the same, but at least they get that first on the next play. Benji Atkins and company making the stop, but not until he made that first down. The drive continues, and Nicholas County desperately needed this type of drive, and now they need to finish it.
Again, they've been able to drive down the field a couple of times on Chapmanville, but their D's been able to hold up. And now Helms takes a deep shot. It's got a man out there and incomplete. Oh, Austin Atkins, I think, thought he had safety help on that play, and nobody was back there for him after the fact. And the pass intended for Nutter looked like it just went right through his hands.
Yeah, Chapmanville dodges a bullet there. Atkins held up. Not sure why he's looking over to his teammate there. A little bit of confusion, and the ball was right there. And it was a tough angle. It's tough to get your head up there and the lights turn around when you're running full speed, but the ball was there. Great opportunity for the Grizzlies, and the Tigers definitely dodge a bullet there. But I like taking a shot there. They've been pounding it, quick passes, soft, makes that defensive secondary step up and take a shot.
Now 2nd down and 10 this time. Helms keeps it himself on the outside, gets grabbed by the knees, and then lunges forward for a couple of yards. So it'll be 3rd down as Collins makes that stop. But, yeah, you saw Atkins turn around and look and put his arms out as if to think he had some help back there. So that's miscommunication one way or the other. Either
right.
Austin had the miscommunication or one of his teammates did, because it looked like he passed off his man to go into the flat, and then there was nobody over the top for him to help him out. And I guess if you just got beat really bad, you just turn around and throw your arms out.
It works for guys like us. We don't know what's going on.
So now 3rd down and 7. Helms under pressure, and he's going to get brought down in the backfield. As breaking through was Craddock, the sophomore, and Keegan Craddock got there first and pushes Nicholas County way back to a 4th and 17.
Chapmanville giving Nicholas County some of their own medicine. We saw in the first half Nicholas County bringing the pressure on 3rd and 4th down. Chapmanville does the same thing. That's the second play, high-energy play we've seen out of Keegan Craddock, the sophomore. This team is loaded in the sophomore class, and that's another example of a young guy making a play at a big time for Chapmanville. So when you miss that wide-open touchdown, then you get a sack. This drive has taken a turn for the worse for Nicholas County, and let's see where they choose to kick it, even though Ward's not back there this time. So let's see how the special teams play out.
This a nice kick, gets away. Chapmanville won't try and field it. It'll take a huge hop, though, and into the end zone. So that'll put Chapmanville out at the 20-yard line with 5:58 remaining here in the third quarter with a 21-0 lead. Again, this game in third quarter being brought to you in part by Missy Birchfield, State Farm agent, helping you down in the coal fields. Again, that's Missy Birchfield of State Farm Insurance. Again, Chris Kidd, Dwain Williams with you. JJ Pruitt, our engineer. Again, weather's been an issue all across the coal fields in the Mountain State and even up north. So far, we've been lucky. And hopefully we can get this game to its conclusion. Hopefully everyone can get home safe this evening as well all around the state.
Just like we're holding off, hoping that the Storms hold off a bit, Nicholas County is hoping that this Tigers offense will hold off a bit, because another score could put this game in dire jeopardy for the Grizzlies.
Give it off on first down. They get upfield. There goes Kovac again. Gets across the 30. And now ball may have come out at the very end. Chapmanville went diving into the pile for it.
We talked about Kovac's ability to wear defensive out, and that was the least resistance we've seen so far in the trenches for the Grizzlies. So you got to keep your head in the game. You got to watch the body language if you're the coach on the Grizzlies sideline. You got to keep these guys amped up, because anything can happen. But if you let up for a complete second, you can see what will happen on the ground game from the Tigers.
Yeah, 'cause right now, Chapmanville with this 3-touchdown lead, a little over halfway through the third quarter. I think you're going to see them really go to work on this clock and really go to work on that defensive line of Nicholas County right now. Try and lean on them a little bit more and more and see if they can just try and salt this game away on the ground as much as they can. There's Kovac again outside, and now the Brahma Bull is starting to get some lanes as he takes off again and picks up another first down.
There's that wrinkle we saw a few plays ago when we saw Kovac leading for Trey Ward. This time it's Jeremy Collins leading for Kovac. So I think in the first half the Tigers coaching staff saw something, and that's a little bit of a different wrinkle on the jet sweep game than we saw last week, but it definitely seems to work. And they're running behind that strong left side led by Dawson Aggins and company, and it works again.
As we approach 5 minutes to go, and this right here is what you love as a head coach for your Zach Belcher. If your team can get up there and just out-physical the other team at the line of scrimmage when you've got a lead, and when you get a chance to sit on a lead, it makes so much of a difference to your team's confidence. Now they go near side to Atkins. Atkins nearly breaks loose, and Austin Atkins inside the 40-yard line for another first down. And right now, Nicholas County just seems completely gassed and emotionally wore out in this game.
Yeah, and this is the offense you don't want to face when you're gassed, because we talked about Austin Atkins earlier. You wonder when they're going to start going to him. We don't see Trey Ward out on the field for this drive. Not sure what's going on there, if he's resting or not, or giving these guys some different looks. But Austin Atkins can get the job done as well, and we saw it there.
And we saw him have some cramps last week in the win over Scott. So they give it off to Kovac. He breaks free. The ball to the 10, to the 6, and he's brought down there. And it'll be first and goal for Chapmanville as the ball came out on the back end, but after he hit the ground. And Chapmanville now with a chance to put this game completely out of reach with 4:36 left in the third.
Chris, I just warned about that a few plays ago. Kovac will wear a defense down. They stretch you sideline to sideline with Ward and Aggins, and if they get numbers in the box, that is bad news for a defense. And in the third quarter, the late third quarter, the fourth quarter, Kovac's been hitting you the entire time. He is a tough guy to bring down. Once again, he looks like Natron Means, Mike Allstott, and even for you young people out there, Cam Scatterbo, but he's a big dude that can run, is all you need to know.
Look up those other guys' names, too. They were pretty good. They give it off to Collins, but a flag down.
There's some killer Natron Means highlights on YouTube. I know that's a deep cut, but you got to watch it.
I still remember that playoff touchdown run he had against Buffalo in the wild card round, where it looked like he was going to get brought down 3 or 4 different times and somehow broke free, and Jacksonville went on and won that game and made that deep run to the AFC Championship that year.
So what I'm saying is, Chris, we need to bring back the fullback.
Yes. See, these are the things I tell my kids even in class. I said, the problem is, like, I know a lot, but it's a lot of useless stuff that's never going to help anything, like remembering that.
Well, thankfully, most of my useless knowledge is football, so at least I can put it to work here.
I was going to say, I've never seen anyone be overly impressed by me being able to name off the Super Bowl scores. I told the kids, I said, hard to believe that there wasn't a girlfriend inside at the time. First and goal. They give it off to Collins. Collins trying to work his way upfield. Still manages to find something out of that, as Nicholas County had it covered up well, but Chapmanville just really getting a push up front and being able to fall forward for yardage now.
Good scouting job there by Nicholas County. They do know that when they bring Collins in, a lot of times if it's not a toss, it's going to be an off-tackle play. They're prepared for it, got a great push up front, and they desperately need a turnover here to keep this game close. They need something to happen. We saw it happen in Nicholas County in the first half. They fumble on the 1-inch yard line. Nicholas County needs to create that turnover against the Tigers to stay in this ball game.
Now they get Kovac back in to the backfield as the officials say to reset the play clock. Now we roll with 3.5 minutes to play in the third. On 2nd and goal, they give it to Kovac off the left side. Kovac spins down close to about the 8-yard line. And it'll be 3rd and goal now for Chapmanville.
You got to wonder if they're going to do a misdirection back to the right side. They have lived off the left side of that line. You know, you got to think they're going to be setting something up to the right-hand side of the field, whether it's going to be a bubble screen. A lot of times in these 3 wide receiver sets, you do see a bubble screen out here to Aggians or a running play because they have lived on the left-hand side of that. They have a strong right hand of that line too, so let's see if they mix it up a bit here.
3rd and goal from the 8. You've also got a kicker that can make it from this distance as Dalton fires over the middle and just off the hands of Benji Atkins and incomplete. And I think you will see Chapmanville try the field goal attempt here with 2:48 to go in the third.
Well, they definitely have a solid kicking game, so you can't fault them with that because it also gives you to that 3-score game that includes 2-point conversions. So you're getting away from there. I like the call here. Typically you're going to be super aggressive, but in this situation, I don't mind it at all, especially as how solid their special team kicking game is.
I agree. You convert this, then you've more or less pinned Nicholas County completely against the wall. You want to take away as many options for a comeback as you can. As kick is up, and it is through, and Chapmanville holds a 24-0 lead now with 2:44 left in the third quarter. We'll be back after this as you're watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Looking for a new healthcare provider? Come see us at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We take all patients from the ages 2 and up. Our staff has over 30 years of medical experience. We do everything from DOT physicals, wellness exams, adult and child, walk-in visits, and more. Call us today at 304-236-3601 or reach us Monday through Friday.
If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Marr is here for you. Jim Marr is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today.
Third quarter. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. JJ Pruitt, our engineer. And this third quarter help being brought to you in part by PT12. Again, we appreciate PT12 and all of our sponsors helping us bring you the action here on the D&D Sports Network in this Week 2 Friday Night Football edition. Clanahan swings the right foot into it, tries to put it in that same spot he's put it a couple of times, but this time he's going to go a little wayward left and out of bounds.
Just a bit outside there, so going to get some positive yardage here for Nicholas County. They're going to have to speed it up now, Chris. The good news is you're only down 3 scores. The bad news is it's 3 scores and 3 2-point conversions. So I think you have to get outside of your game plan. The QB definitely has the talent to get outside the pocket and make throws from either side of the field. We've seen him roll to his left and make the throws, but I think Nicholas County is kind of pushed into the example of opening up the playbook, airing it out a bit. Easier said than done, but let's see what they do with this first play, see if they can set a tone.
Yeah, because, again, they've been able to, like we said, move. They didn't move the ball much in the first quarter. Took them a couple of drives before they even got their first down, but after that,
when you have mistakes, especially a very deflating mistake at the goal line, it seemed like from there it's been hard to get in the rhythm, and Chapmanville's defense has been on point.
Yeah, again, I was waiting on the officials, seeing that I should have known it was the kickoff. But, yeah, I'm like you. After that fumble at the goal line, you know, they've had a couple other drives where they've been in Chapmanville territory, but Chapmanville defense, you know, they've bent several times, but they have not broke yet this season in any quarter or any drive as of yet.
Now, they dodged one bullet. The only time that they've really dodged a bullet was on that deep pass that Nicholas County had a chance to score a touchdown. But we see they're on first down. They're still staying with that game plan and pounding it up the middle. Let's see how long they stick with that, because the clock is their enemy at the moment.
Yeah, because if you're Nicholas County, you're going to go back and look at the tape of this game, and that fumble at the goal line, that open touchdown that they missed on the long one, you can't help but wonder, what could have happened had we been able to hit those in this game and perhaps change the complexion of this contest, because everything affects what happens next, and unfortunately they'll never get to know. But right now they've got less than 14 minutes left in this game, and they've got to generate some offense in a hurry.
Absolutely, Chris. And Porter makes a great play there by Chapmanville. He had a great game last week, and his intensity's still up to the top. Let's see if what they do here on 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. Big play for the Nicholas County Grizzlies.
Fake the handoff. Helms will keep it off the right side, and nothing out there. As once again, the sophomore coming up to make the stop that time for Chapmanville. Looked like Killen got in the last minute too.
Yeah, these young guys for Chapmanville are just being fired out of a cannon right now. Keegan Craddock he is seeing these plays develop, and he's going in there at 90 miles an hour. No regard for his body there, just firing off. That's what you got to have. You got to have these young guys being aggressive and making these plays. And now all of a sudden, you got 4th and long, and you're down 3 scores.
Yeah, and like our coaches used to tell us, you're like a heat-seeking missile. You see that, you go for it. And now it's 4th and 6 as Helms rolls, throws downfield, and easily intercepted by big Benji Atkins. Here he comes back the other way. Atkins to the midfield marker and across midfield, and he'll be taken down, and Chapmanville will take over with 46 seconds to go in the 3rd.
And that's what happens, Chris, when you're faced with 4th and long. You have to force it. The receiver was wide open beyond Benji, but when you're rolling out and have pressure, you kind of don't get enough on it, underthrown, and a player with the hands that Benji Atkins has is not going to miss that too much.
Again, we also want to inform you again, next week we're going to be launching a new app that you can watch with us. D&D Sports Plus will be coming your way. And you want to talk about a new feature and new innovation for high school football sports, Dwayne. It's going to be revolutionized with us right here on D&D Sports, and it starts next week. So make sure you pay attention. Be on the lookout for that D&D app coming your way here soon.
Absolutely, Chris. Just another way D&D Sports brings you coverage of local high school athletics, and ahead of the curve, using technology, giving you more options is the name of the game.
It is. It's going to be really interesting, really fun. We talked about in the off season, and now it's becoming a reality here soon. So, again, D&D Sports Plus. Be ready to take a look for the app coming up here within the next week. So now we'll see if Chapmanville elects to run another play. They don't have to here in the 3rd quarter, as the game clock is in front of the play clock right now, and it looks as if the Tigers very content to take this 24-0 lead into the final 12 minutes. So we'll step aside and be back for the start of quarter number 4 right after this, as you're watching high school football action right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Come on down to Three Guys Pizza and Brew in Williamson, West Virginia. We're located on the corner of Harvey Street and 3rd Avenue. We got great deals on pizzas, sandwiches, and more. You get great service with great pricing. Enjoy your birthday or ball games with us here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Look forward to seeing you.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the Southern Coalfields. So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away.
Here at LB&T, we make online banking easy.
We've taken the hassle out of applying for a loan on our new website. It's as simple as going to our lbnt.com website and choosing the loan product that best suits your needs.
Your loan on your time. Visit us at lbnt.com. You're only a click away.
So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away. It's easy to apply online at lbnt.com, and all decisions are made locally. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
24-0, Chapmanville leads it to start quarter number 4 here from Nicholas County High School. Chris Kidd here with you. Dwayne Williams alongside me. J.J. Pruitt, outstanding at engineer once again here tonight on the D&D Sports Network. And speaking of outstanding, this Chapmanville offensive line and Preston Kovac starting to take over, as there goes Kovac once again bullying his way down to the 36 for 13 more.
Chris, I asked at the end of the third quarter when we're going to see some runs to the right side of the line. That answered my question. Jackson Topping on that right-hand side of the line and company, leading that. We've been living behind the left side. We showed right there we can run to both sides.
And Jackson Topping, he's a very mature young man. I've got him in my first period. I've almost started to call him Dad just because he's more mature than I am. I'm like, Jackson, I'm 42 years old, and I'm not even as mature as you are. And he goes, well, that seems like a problem for you. And I was like, it is.
It's a very, very mature answer.
1st and 10. They give it off to Kovac. Once again, just refused to go down on first contact and fights his way out for another 5 yards. And, that's what makes kids like him so great, though. I said, he's funny and he's very dry with a sense of humor, but he's very helpful. Like today, I saw him helping out with signs down in the hub area whenever he had the chance to. And he looked at me when I was walking out and goes, "Did you leave your phone outside again?" I said, "Shut up."
He's checking on you. He's checking on the hub. He's checking on the teachers. He's keeping the offensive line in check. The mayor kind of does it all. Notice something on that play. Dakota Dalton carried out a fake. If he would have kept that ball, he had a wide receiver screen wide open. I wonder if we're going to see him carry out that pass later in the game.
2nd and 6 as Kovac gets the carry once again down to the 30-yard line for a pickup of a couple of yards.
And when you have a lead like this, of course, you want to bleed that clock and you want to pound the ball. But if there is a time you do want to work on something like that that's low risk, they are biting on that. Even the cornerbacks are coming down to the middle to help. If they'd ever want to fake that handoff play action, let Dakota raise up and throw that bubble or that little step-back screen, it's there.
Nicholas County nearly jumped in the neutral zone. The officials have been very forgiving about that tonight on both sides. I saw Chapmanville nearly jump a few times. Sometimes the officials have a quick whistle on that, but yeah, Nicholas County's nearly crossed over a few times, and Chapmanville lets the play clock run all the way down before they call timeout here with 10:06 to play. We'll be back right after this as you're watching high school football action on the D&D Sports Network.
Smokey Armstrong here from United Motorsports of Belfry. Looking for your next adventure? We've got the motorcycles, side-by-sides, and ATVs needed to take your riding to the next level. Whether you're hitting the track, enjoying the trails, exploring the open road, or seeking comfort and style, we've got you covered with trusted brands like Honda, Polaris, and Kawasaki. At United Motorsports, we're not just about selling power sports. We're passionate about helping you find the perfect ride. Our team will work with you to customize your vehicle, offer expert advice, and provide top-notch service. No matter where your adventure takes you, ready to get started? Call us at 606-237-7311 or visit www.unitedmotorsportsbelfry.com or stop by today. Your next ride is waiting.
.06 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 4 for Chapmanville as they're at the Nicholas County 30-yard line. Collins gets the call, but not a lot there for him, so that's going to bring up 4th down and 4 here for Chapmanville.
We do enjoy all the interaction on the Facebook Live. We see we have viewers from Pennsylvania, from Huntington, shout out there from Myrtle Beach. We also love to see family members cheering on people. That's why we love to bring you live coverage. If you can't make it out to the game, we give you an option to watch from home.
Yeah. As you said, couldn't have said it much better there, Dwain. Absolutely true. So we appreciate everyone who's not here watching with us here tonight, whether you're in West Virginia or somewhere else. Again, we had one from Australia last week. We love hearing from all of our people around the globe tuning in for high school football. It's a great throw there by Dalton on the outside as he puts it right on Collins, and that conversion gives Chapmanville another 1st down with 9:22 to go, and they'll keep the clock moving now.
That's such a bread and butter play. And I talked about you can still throw the ball with some safe throws. We saw that play twice in the first half to Trey Ward. This time they got Collins, who's very versatile. He steps in the Preston Kovac role. He stepped in there for the Trey Ward route, and Dakota put it right on him there. Their bread and butter play, and it's worked 3 times this game.
Some of the Nicholas County faithful starting to file out of the stadium here with Chapmanville leading it 24-0 as we go under 9 minutes to play as Kovac picks up a yard down to about the 23-yard line. And they'll be 2nd and 9. And Chapmanville, they go into their bye week next week, Dwayne, so they've got a very early bye week coming up. And I don't know if this is something that those players really want right away. They played so well so
Not
far.
when you're rolling like this, and especially the defense. They're working on 8 straight quarters of shutout football. You got to wonder how you keep that momentum. They have another away game following that bye week. It's good rest, but it's going to make the rest of the season quite long.
2nd down at 9. They give it off to Kovac once again. Barrels forward down to about the 20, maybe the 19, and it'll bring up 3rd down about 5. So I don't know if you and I are going to be working next week or not. You know, maybe we have a week off too.
Never know.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll be somewhere else.
We might have an early season bye week as well. You know, I've called Benji Aggins Baby Gronk a few times in the past, and there's another example, not only with the catching, but finishing a block 10 yards down with a 3-score lead. You've got to love that intensity by one of your starters.
Right now, we'll step aside for a quick break as a player down with cramps for Chapmanville as you're watching high school football action on the D&D Sports Network.
Come on down to 3 Guys Pizza and Brew in Williamson, West Virginia. We're located on the corner of Harvey Street and 3rd Avenue. We got great deals on pizzas, sandwiches, and more. Get great service with great pricing. Enjoy your birthday or ball games with us here at 3 Guys Pizza and Brew. Look forward to seeing you.
Preston Kovac was the one down with cramps as he's helped off the field. And Chapmanville has a 3rd and 5 at the Nicholas County 19-yard line.
We've got viewers chiming in from Lexington, Kentucky, Lenore, North Carolina, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Appreciate everybody's viewing inside of West Virginia and out. We're proud to bring you coverage of both teams. That way family and friends can watch from all over the country.
It is. You know, no one wants to spend Friday night with me. Dwayne and JJ are forced to, and so you people chose this. So, you know, appreciate you joining us on a Friday night here as it's been another great performance by the Tigers as Dalton, quarterback keeper up the middle, picks up a couple of yards down to about the 17, and it'll be 4th down and about 3 for Chapmanville.
The first time we've seen that draw up the middle. We saw him make a great run in the first half, rolling out on a passing play. I think that's the first called quarterback run. You know, he looks up to Josh Allen, talking with him in the preseason. That's who he kind of wants to model his game about. So you definitely see shades of that there. And also just puts other plays on film for teams to have something else to worry about.
7:27 to go as Dalton, he and Collins going through the play sheet. And they had that little rollout pass on 4th and 4 a moment ago to keep the drive going. Now on 4th and 3, Dalton has time, fires towards the back corner for Adkins. Flag down. Adkins, did he make the grab? Let's see. Ball came squirting out on the far side. I never saw a signal from the official.
The ball was put only where Benji could catch that, just like a basketball player. He boxed him out there. I thought he completed it, but I saw the ball squirt out at the end. Flag down, not sure if the defender pulled it away or what the call is there.
Yeah, we never saw a signal either way, and flag came in, but we haven't seen a signal on that as of yet either, but the official's about ready to come and tell us what he's got. So let's listen in here.
We have 2 fouls on the play, each on each team. We have holding. It's the offense number 52. Pass interference against the blue, number 7.
So we'll have offsetting penalties here, Dwayne, and we'll do it all over again.
I didn't see the flag come in. I see it now on the ground. But a break there for Nicholas County because, you know, that play was either going to be a touchdown. Not a bad pass interference call if you're going to have one to stop a touchdown. But let's do 4th down again.
So, you know, it'll be 4th down, a long 3 here for Chapmanville. They need the 14-yard line in order to keep the drive moving. Send Atkins in motion. He'll take off. Dalton has some time, fires over the middle, and fits it into a small window right to Atkins for another 1st down.
Wait, that's another example of Austin Atkins knows exactly where the 1st down marker is. He set up, he gave Dalton a target. Very nice throw right in between 2 defenders. way to stay calm and composed, keep this drive going. I know they've got the game in hand, but as a coach, you got to love that. Executing on fourth down, executing the play call. You want to see your players know where they are in the field, and Atkins, being a veteran on this team, set up just beyond the first down marker, and Dakota got it right to him.
New set of downs for the Tigers. They'll give it off. Collins, left side, fights his way down close to the 10-yard line. Pick up about 2, maybe 3 as Topping's helmet came off, so he'll have to exit for a play for Chapmanville.
And you got to love seeing these Tigers finish these plays with a lead. There's no lackadaisical action. We saw Benji Aggins do it. Just saw Dawson Aggins finish off a block 3 yards down the field. And you know he likes showing those muscles off, Chris, so he's showing them off on the field right now. Usually he's flexing in your face, but right now he showed his muscle at the end of plays.
He can flex my face all he wants. There's no intimidation there whatsoever. I can see him shaking when he's trying to do it. He's trying to be tough. He's trying to be confident. I know what he's all about. But Dawson Atkins, you can't get on this level. I'm sorry. I love messing with these guys. It's the only. I told him, I said, thank God you guys know that I'm joking. I said, if not, I would have been beaten to death by about 15 players by this point.
Yeah, most of those guys have a good sense of humor, especially
They
Dawson.
do.
You know, you see these polls when you see posts on social media pages for teams, and they ask the players who's the funniest guy on the team. I've seen numerous guys add Dawson Aggins under that question, rightfully so. So we always have a good time when I see him, give him a hard time, but he's a great kid.
That's what I said. He's very genuine, too, about how he feels. You know, he wants everybody to be good. He'll joke with you, but he definitely has a serious side, too, that I saw a little bit last year, and I really appreciated a lot of that from him, just being kind and being nice.
Absolutely, and, you know, he gets that, comes from a great family, and you can see that bleeding through. And the way he's transformed his body, because, you know, Dawson was a linebacker in middle school and early high school. He's a linebacker, played a little bit of receiver. He ran the ball a little bit. And the way he's transformed his body to be a leader on that left side of that offensive line is pretty fantastic, man. You don't see that a lot. And sometimes people who don't know football, they just know the skill position players. They don't realize the importance of an offensive and defensive line. And, you know, anybody that, you know, any of these coaches will tell you that's where any program starts with success, with that offensive and defensive line. And, you know, he's proud of that just as he would be as a wide receiver or running back. And it's good to see.
And I think what I was really impressed by him was last season. Again, after football season was over and it got into winter, it got towards spring, he was trying to get the guys together to go to the weight room. You know, he was talking about whenever we come into class, you know, hey, you're going to lift today, you're going to do this, you're going to do that and stuff. So he was already preparing for this moment because he talked about at the end of last season, he said, next year we're going to be really good, but we got to work for it. And right now that offensive line definitely seems like they followed that lead as they have been dominating through these first 2 games of the season. Dalton on 2nd down and 9. They'll give it off to Collins. Collins into the line, but not going to get much further. Maybe push back a little here. But it looks like they're going to give him some forward progress right to about the 10.
I've given the Tigers props for finishing plays. Let me brag on the Grizzly defense there. It's so hard to keep your head in the game and keep your composure and your body language down 3 scores this late in your home opener on the season. But right there is an example of those guys continuing to play hard, finishing the play, wrapping up, still playing with pride. And as you said, talked about Dawson Aggins following through with his words on working hard. You'd like to see players like this finish even on the losing side of it.
On 3rd down, Dalton over the middle, and a big hit laid on Adkins as pass too tall and incomplete. And that'll force another 4th down for Chapmanville. As you saw some of the field goal team running on, now it looks like they will bring the entire field goal team on.
Yeah, a little bit of timing there, you know, not bad to work on, a little bit of play action. You know, we saw a few hot passes last week to Benji. That one was definitely catchable. Makes it a little bit tougher, though. The cornerback was right there to make a little hit in the back, but you'd like to see that completed. But the very experienced, talented special teams group is coming out here trying to add 3 points to this.
This will officially be a 28-yarder, but it's blocked by Nicholas County. Looking to pick it up and score here, but Chapmanville able to make the stop. But Nicholas County able to prevent 3 more from going on the board as they block the field goal attempt and keep it at 24-0. So
that's the pride I was talking about, Chris.
Yeah.
Playing hard and making things happen.
Yeah, so it looks like a Tiger down right now. So we'll step aside and be back right after this as you're watching high school football action here on the D&D Sports.
If you got a big job to get done, don't just trust any flagging service. Call Doming Flagging Service. Diamond Flagging Service keeps your community safe while also making sure it stays moving. Give Diamond Flagging Service a call today for their services. They also offer amazing job opportunities. Diamond Flagging Services, proud supporter of the Mountain Athletes.
Jackson Ellison was the man down for Chapmanville as they helped him back to the sideline with some cramps. That's big hit laid coming near side on that carry for about a gain of 1 or 2.
It looked like number 20, Keegan Craddock, in there again. He has been a heat-seeking missile. You mentioned that term earlier. That's exactly what he's playing, playing like this entire game. So just showing out whenever he gets the chance.
Again, this fourth quarter being brought to you by Genmar and United Motorsports here on the D&D Sports Network. And Genmar and United Motorsports here with helping us bring you this fourth quarter and all this action from Nicholas County here tonight as Helms fires over the middle, juggled and caught by his receiver, getting out close to midfield as Nicholas County trying to find a score to end the evening on, as Chapmanville's defense has yet to relinquish a point in 7 quarters of action.
And that's a point of emphasis. That's pride on the defense. They want to finish this game, but we're seeing pride on the other side too. We've seen this quarterback roll out to his left multiple times and throw back to that middle.
Helms will roll near side. Looking, Chapmanville trying to get upfield. Now they add some pressure. Stepping up as Helms gets away from the sack, but doesn't get much farther, as he'll pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards, and then he's hit late. And now another late hit is delivered, but that was a pretty obvious one against Chapmanville right there, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like one, and then you get another one on Nicholas County coming through. What number do we see on that play for Chapmanville?
I saw Benji Atkins go down from a hit from a Grizzly. I'm not sure who delivered the hit for Chapmanville on Helms that time.
I think it was 14 Lusk. It was definitely late, but it was not like he slammed him down, but the second one coming in from Nicholas County was definitely.
So that'll be a personal foul. Again, Nicholas County had a devastating couple of personal fouls back in the first half. Again, they had almost a score to tie the game, fumbled through the end zone on 4th down, and then 2 personal foul penalties and unsportsmanlike conduct pushed Chapmanville out to midfield.
I was expecting offsetting there. I saw some late action after that initial one, but maybe they didn't see the second guy that time.
Yeah, again, it looks like Helms and the severity of his hit was more of the key emphasis. Benji, I don't know if he was trying to put on a Tom Hanks-like performance on that one as he went down, but they didn't give him the call. As stepping up as Helms, he's being grabbed and tried to get rid of it and almost completed it, but it'll fall just shy and incomplete.
Another example of Helms keeping his head up, staying alive, people all around his legs, around his feet. He's trying his best to make a play, so you got to give a quarterback props there for staying in the play. The throw just came up a bit short.
And that is Nash wearing number 17, so he must have had a rip to the jersey at halftime or blood on the jersey, but he was wearing 11 in the first half, comes out now in 17 here in the second half. But it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Chapmanville 33-yard line with 3:50 to go. And Chapmanville leading it comfortably, 24-0. Back to throw, Helms looking, fires short, completes it to Nash, trying to get upfield, and Chapmanville covers it well, coming up and holding that to about a 3-yard pickup.
Nice little play call there to get over to your playmaker. Try to make a few guys miss. Safe pass. Try to make them miss. Make something happen. Chapmanville rallies to the point of attack.
Now 3:24 and counting. 3rd down and 6. Give it off to Nash out of the shotgun, and Nash spins forward, and he should have a 1st down. Nicholas County wanting a face mask, and now it looks like they're going to get that call.
Starting to see more laundry here late. You got to keep it clean late. I don't know if it's, when you get tired, you get, the lack of technique. You're reaching out, grabbing on something. You grab the face mask instead of moving your feet. Common to see late in games, but you want to clean up these penalties because we saw a lot last week as well. Looked like 51 in there on that stop. Amari Daniels made a play last week as well in there in some limited action, so it's nice to see him clean it up there at the end.
So this will put them half the distance to the goal now after that one, and they do get Amari Daniels, the junior, on that face mask. So Nicholas County still with a slight pulse here with 3:13 remaining. As it'll be from the 17-yard line of Chapmanville, or the 13-yard line, excuse me. As Helms puts 3 receivers up top, 1 to the bottom. He'll give it off. Nash cuts back inside. Nice cut by Nash that time as he gets inside the 10 for a gain of 4, close to 5.
Very nice cut for a big running back, quick feet, change direction. And it looks like at this point right now they're just trying to get some momentum. They're not worried about the clock and going in fast. By them keeping it on the ground, they're looking like they just want to get something positive to build on going into next week.
Yeah, and oftentimes that's such a key thing, just finding something on film to be like, look, we know we can do this, we know we can do that. See right here, it's effective. So, yeah, I mean, going in right now may not seem much, but it does matter. They give it off near side, and this time Chapmanville there to swallow up that run and just got rid of the running back in time before they got another personal foul penalty.
Yeah, glad to see him hold up there. You had players in there. You had Keegan Craddock in there once again. Also, you had number 25, Cooper Perry, and looked like number 30, Colton Brock. So those 3 guys cleaned it up on the end, and glad to see them hold up there at the very, very end.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, are they going to let him go? Or are they going to let him go? Okay. So it's going to be 3rd down.
You know, sometimes you get in there as a defender. You don't mean any ill will. You're just fired up. You get a chance, and luckily they hear the multiple whistles coming in. The refs are doing a good job. They've seen a few plays getting out of hand, so you heard multiple whistles come in.
On 3rd and 3, they go to Nash coming near side, cuts back inside, fights forward, and there are the first points given up by Chapmanville on the season with 1:42 to go in the 4th.
And that's a point of emphasis you wanted to see from Nicholas County. They want to get something to have on tape, and it looks like they'll be going for 2. Always a good time to work on your 2-point conversion plays, how important those can be. So the shutout streak ends for Chapmanville, but they shouldn't hang their head because really wasn't the defense. The playing-wise, it was some penalties. Gave up a lot of penalty yards, so you got to clean that up if you want to be a dominant defense.
Now Nicholas County will attempt to go for 2. In order to try and keep some faint hopes alive here with 1:42 remaining. As Helms will give it off to Nash, but he's going to get spun to the ground, and 2-point conversion no good as Chapmanville maintains a 3-possession lead. We'll step aside and be back for the conclusion right after this as you are watching high school football action here on the D&D Sports Network.
Looking for a new healthcare provider? Come see us at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We take all patients from the ages 2 and up. Our staff has over 30 years of medical experience. We do everything from DOT physicals, wellness exams, adult and child, walk-in visits, and more. Call us today at 304-236-3601 or reach us Monday through Friday.
If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Marr is here for you. Jim Marr is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today.
In the 4th quarter, Chapmanville on their way to a 2-0 start to this season as they head into their bye week. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you, JJ Pruitt, our engineer. And thankfully it appears that we may beat the weather out of here tonight, Dwayne, as cops are helping direct traffic outside. Again, we hope everyone's okay in the southern part of our state where we'll be heading back to after this broadcast, so hopefully everything is okay with everyone down that way. As onside kick, and Nicholas County recovers it. It hopped off a Tiger there on the big hop at the end, and Nicholas County still with a chance here, even though they trail it by 3 scores.
Another example of play into the final whistle. Well executed onside kick. Chapmanville was in play, in position to make that play. That funny shape of the football takes some funny bounces sometimes, and heads up play by the recovery player by the Grizzlies and keeps them alive for a few more moments.
As that was recovered on the play by Spencer Kuiper Jr. As if that 2-point conversion had been converted a little bit earlier, this could be a little bit hairier for Chapmanville, but still holding a 3-possession lead as Helms steps up in the pocket, takes off. He's going to be brought down from behind by Killen as the clock continues to run as we're under 90 seconds to play.
And that's where that field goal from Chapmanville comes into play.
Yeah.
You get that 24, that makes the two-point conversions a must, so that's why you make that kick earlier in the game.
In the shotgun, Helms looking, fires quickly to the sideline, but not getting out of bounds as catch is made. And that should be enough for a first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily, but with a minute 10 to go, clock will wind once they get the chain set.
Yeah, they got to show some urgency here. Great to work on this regardless of the outcome here. That way for future games in this season.
They wind the clock now. Closing in on a minute to play here in the fourth quarter. As Nicholas County going to drop to 0-2 on the season. As they throw a screen out to Nash and nothing doing, as may have been Killen again, and it was who got out there and blew that up.
Killen has been all over the field for the Tigers defense, making his presence known almost on every passing play. He is diagnosing very, very quickly. As soon as he makes a decision, there's no hesitation to get in that backfield.
Yeah, he's another one. He's had a good eye for the ball these first 2 weeks of the season as Nicholas County will burn a timeout with 39.7 seconds to play. Well, while we have a moment, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors once again here tonight, helping us bring the action from Nicholas County High School as Laser Dude helping us here this evening, along with 304 Motorsports, Trend Services, Chiefs Roadhouse, Domino Printing, Tug Valley Wellness Center, Markham, Rumora and Associates, Logan Bank and Trust, Aracoma Drug, Missy Birchfield, State Farm Agent, PT12, Genmar, and United Motorsports. Well, 39.7 seconds to go now. Dwayne, we talked about during the break, it's going to be interesting to see who we have for our player of the game, but, you know, our Tug Valley Wellness Center player of the game, we both had a discussion about it along with JJ, and we finally came to an agreement whenever we talked about it as to who it should be, and we ended up picking the man partly responsible for all three scores tonight for Chapmanville touchdown-wise, and that was quarterback Dakota Dalton.
Absolutely. He bounced back from last week. You know, he played a mediocre game last week as far as the numbers are concerned. Played a good game. This week he comes out. He hits Trey Ward on a screen, on a short pass, on a deep, well-placed balls. He's had another well-placed ball that should have been caught, and then he rushes one in. What a bounce-back game by Dakota Dalton, and he led this team. Also want to give a shout-out to Evan Witt. He made a few tackles there, and I think we called out the wrong person. Sometimes from these booths we are in different cramped corners, can't see around sometime, and, you know, we always want to give the players their due, so Evan Witt definitely making his presence felt as well.
Yeah, I can say, Dwayne and I, we're in our 40s now. You got to give us some slack.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to see as much as we can.
19, 14, 16 all looks the same from here.
So we got 19.3 seconds remaining on the clock. Nicholas County comes back out on 2nd and 10 from the Chapmanville 25. Helms with 4 receivers. Drops to throw as time, now running out of time as he steps up in the pocket. Trying to run away, now takes off as he'll slide down close to the first down. And I don't think he got the first down, and that will bring us down to the final 4 seconds as Nicholas County will burn their final timeout to try and get a final playoff, to try and get a final score in this game. Well, also, like to remind everyone once again before we go here this evening, again, next week, the brand new app, D&D Sports Plus, coming your way. So make sure you keep a lookout on D&D Sports to see when we present the app, to show you what we'll be doing going forward with all the games and how innovative this is going to become for the D&D Sports Network.
Yeah, stay tuned on our Facebook page for the announcement and directions on where to go and download that. It's going to be very innovative. It's going to be ahead of its time for especially for our area. And once again, D&D Sports are on the threshold of the technology just to bring you guys more options.
Now 4 seconds to go. This will be the final play of the game, barring a penalty. As Nicholas County recovering the onside kick a minute ago. Trying to get another score, but they'll have to do it from the 16-yard line. As Helms take his final snap of the evening as he's under pressure immediately. Complete jailbreak. Somehow got away from Kovac. Fires to the back of the end zone and completes it. What a play by Helms. to keep that alive and turn that into a touchdown. That is what you love to see if you're Nicholas County coach, and if you're on the other sideline. A couple of handfuls of hair into the hands of a few Chapmanville coaches perhaps seeing that, but Landon Keenan with a touchdown grab.
What a throw there, kid, and exactly, they wanted to work on something specific there. And Chapmanville actually brought a blitz. They're like, you're going to call a timeout with a couple seconds to play? We're going to bring a blitz. Once again, the quarterback moves around the pocket, keeps the play alive, maybe some broken coverage in the backside of the defense, and they finish the game with a touchdown.
So that'll be the ball game again. 2-point conversion will not be attempted since it cannot enhance anything further from the ball game, and thankfully able to get in all of the action here this evening from Nicholas County High School. And we'd like to thank our sponsors once again here this evening: Laser Dude, 304 Motorsports, Trend Services, Chiefs Roadhouse, Domino Printing, Tug Valley Wellness Center, Markham, Remora and Associates, LB&T Banking, Aracoma Drug Store, Missy Birchfield State Farm Agent, PT12, Genmar, and United Motorsports. So again, another great evening, Dwain. Chapmanville out to a 2-0 start, something they haven't been in a while. Now they get a chance to enjoy that on the week off before they head into a couple of tough games, Midland Trail and Williamstown after that break.
What better way to go into your bye week on a two-game winning streak, the complete opposite of last year. They got off that slow start. Now they're 2-0. And as you know, the more wins, the more expectations you have. I think these Tigers are built for it. You see things coming through this season that we haven't seen in quite some time. The program's taking shape, the off-season workouts, the team coming together. They lost a lot of leadership last year. A lot of guys are stepping up to take that mantle, and you can see it on the field in 2 games.
24-12, your final score here tonight. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors one more time. I want to thank J.J. Pruitt. Amazing job once again, engineering and camera work for us here on D&D Sports. Dwayne Williams next to me. I'm Chris Kidd saying so long tonight here from Nicholas County High School. And everyone, be safe getting home and staying home if you are this evening, okay? You've been watching high school